One minute, the world seemed perfect, but the next, it was in the grip of the most severe economic depression, with millions of people losing their jobs. Hey guys, it's Tris. Today. We'll delve into the depths of the Great Depression. Our journey starts at the onset of the First World War. We'll uncover the rise of the United States as a global superpower, the repercussions of the war, and the role the Model T Ford played in society's transformation. We'll also explore the real estate frenzy in Florida, the stock market bubble, and the fallout from its inevitable burst. If you find this video interesting, it would be great if you could support us by hitting the like button. Now, let's get started. The Great Depression, one of the most profound economic crises in history, had its roots in the turbulent aftermath of the First World War. As Europe emerged from the devastation of World War I, it faced the daunting task of rebuilding nations and economies that had been shattered by years of conflict. In 1914, the First World War erupted, transforming the entire European continent into a battlefield. The United States joined the Allied side, which included Britain and France, in 1917, and ultimately emerged victorious alongside its allies. However, the war had left a trail of destruction and immense financial burdens that needed to be addressed. Germany, in particular, was heavily burdened with reparations for the damages caused during the war. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, imposed crushing financial obligations on Germany, requiring it to pay a staggering $132 billion in reparations. This astronomical sum was equivalent to 2.5 times Germany's gross national income in 1913. Moreover, these payments were to be made in foreign currency over a period of 30 years, putting significant strain on the German economy. Britain, another major participant in the war, was also grappling with the burden of war debt. Despite being a dominant global power before the war, the conflict had taken a toll on the nation's economic strength and political stability. The socioeconomic challenges experienced by the masses during and after the war, such as economic strain, food shortages due to rationing, and poor working conditions, contributed to social unrest and made it challenging for politicians to govern effectively. Furthermore, Britain's once mighty industries, such as textiles, coal, steel, and shipbuilding, were facing significant challenges and declining in prominence. These economic hardships affected Europe as a whole, as the continent experienced a significant increase in the size and influence of the working class. This shift led to higher labor costs for businesses and reduced overall competitiveness in the global market. As Europe grappled with its difficulties, the United States, largely spared from the physical destruction that ravaged Europe, was gradually becoming a major supplier to the continent, its industries thriving while Europe rebuilt. Its industrial development and growing production capacity allowed it to export goods to Europe, further boosting its economic growth. Technological advancements, like the rapid proliferation of telephones, coupled with factors like increasing affordability of postal services, supported this expansion. As industries flourished, so did the urban working and middle classes. By 1920, for the first time in history, the urban population in the United States surpassed the rural population, signifying a significant shift in the country's social and economic landscape. The growth of industries necessitated a larger workforce. The absence of many men who had gone to fight in World War I paved the way for women to join the workforce in significant numbers. They took on roles as telephone operators and factory workers, marking a substantial societal shift. The streamlining of production processes, exemplified by the revolutionary Model T Ford, a car that remained unchanged for 20 years, resulted in increased efficiency and productivity. The success of Ford's assembly line allowed the company to double the minimum wage for its workers in 1914, attracting a steady stream of laborers eager to work for higher wages. With rising incomes and lower prices due to improved efficiency, the American dream of car ownership became more attainable. In 1900, it took an average worker 22 months' worth of wages to purchase a Model T Ford. But by 1925, it only took 3 months. The era of mass production and mass consumption had arrived. And consumer goods like radios, electric washing machines, and electric refrigerators became increasingly prevalent. The introduction of modern sales techniques and the availability of installment payments made it easier for the middle class to afford these durable consumer goods, creating a consumer-driven economy. Moreover, the desire for homeownership became widespread, fueled in part by the availability of prefabricated houses from companies like Sears Roebuck. The United States government supported the campaign for homeownership, leading to a significant increase in urban families residing in their own homes. American industrial goods were also exported to Europe, spreading American culture and influence through the medium of Hollywood movies and other means. This dissemination of American culture further fueled the American dream, making prosperity and upward mobility seem within grasp. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly thriving economy, there were troubling signs of financial excess. In the mid-1920s, the United States experienced what came to be known as the Florida land bubble. This was characterized by soaring land prices, spurred by speculative investments and a surge in demand for land, especially in South Florida. Deceptive land sales practices further fueled the bubble. However, the bubble eventually burst when the oversupply of properties became apparent, coupled with a devastating hurricane in 1926, leaving many investors in financial ruin. The repercussions of this bubble served as a prelude to an even more devastating economic catastrophe. In the United States, the stock market crash of 1929 marked a turning point. This catastrophic event, which began with Black Thursday on October 24 and reached a devastating climax on Black Tuesday, involved a rapid and severe drop in stock prices. This sudden financial collapse sent shockwaves through the nation and marked the onset of the Great Depression. The crash resulted in immense losses for investors and triggered widespread panic, deeply impacting the nation's economy and its people. The rapid decline in stock prices triggered panic selling, and investors faced significant losses. The surge in brokers' loans, which are loans extended by brokers to their clients for the purchase of securities, and the proliferation of company mutual funds added to the market's instability. This overleveraging increased the financial risk and contributed to the instability of the stock market. The following days and weeks saw further plunges in stock prices, leading to economic chaos and a wave of financial ruin. President Herbert Hoover's reluctance to intervene directly in the economy exacerbated the crisis as his belief in laissez-faire principles limited the government's response to the unfolding disaster. This approach proved inadequate to tackle the mounting unemployment and numerous bank failures that followed. The lack of deposit insurance at the time further fueled public anxiety and uncertainty, leading to widespread panic and runs on banks. The plight of World War I veterans during the Great Depression added to the social and political turmoil. In 1932, a group of veterans, known as the Bonus Army, marched to Washington, D.C., to demand early payment of their bonuses. However, the government's rejection of their plea led to clashes with federal troops, further escalating the social and political tensions of the time. The conflict left a lasting mark on President Hoover's image, and the ensuing presidential election saw him suffer an overwhelming defeat to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Upon assuming office, President Roosevelt implemented a series of transformative policies known as the New Deal, aimed at alleviating the economic crisis and providing relief to millions of Americans. These measures included banking reforms, public works projects, and social welfare programs. which helped restore confidence in the financial system and spur economic recovery. While the road to recovery was long and challenging, the Great Depression ultimately paved the way for significant reforms and lessons in economic management. The lessons learned from this dark period in history have shaped economic policies and financial regulations for decades, guiding governments in their efforts to prevent and respond to economic crises. The Great Depression remains one of the most significant periods in global history, teaching us the severe consequences of unchecked speculation, unregulated markets, and financial bubbles. As we explore this historical era, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of global economies and societies. We are also reminded that economic prosperity can sometimes lead to a downturn if not managed carefully. As we learn from history, we are better equipped to avoid similar pitfalls in the future. Join me next time as we continue to explore the fascinating tales that history has to offer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.